So next part of a look at my CD collection. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to the next part of a look at my CD collection. So we're just going through my general CDs. These are just normal albums. So it's everything apart from compilations and soundtracks, signed CDs, Prince CDs, and box sets, which are dotted about. A number of these have already been recorded and put on the channel and on the playlist, as will future parts be. Let's just get cracking. So first up, we have Alicia Dixon's debut solo album, Fired Up, credited just as Alicia on this. I love this album. It was never actually released in the UK. She released 2 singles from it, Lipstick and Knockdown, which are my 2 favourite Alicia Dixon singles, but they didn't set the charts alight. They charted, but only, I think they were in the teens and 20s possibly. And so her record company dropped her and didn't release that over here. This is a Japanese release. It comes with a great big thick booklet. But yeah, it's a really strong album. The only way this has been released over here, I'm trying to see if I can't remember where I've put it. But on the tour to promote the Alicia Show album, she was selling USB wristbands with this album on, which I've got somewhere. God knows where it is. But yeah, that's the only way it's been released over here. This is Jagged Little Pill Acoustic by Alanis Morissette. So for the 10th anniversary of the Jagged Little Pill album, this was released, and it is acoustic versions of the album. This is also in the 20th anniversary, I think it is, box set that I have shown. It is up there, sort of there-ish. So I have this twice now. Alicia Keys' debut album, Songs in A Minor. Alicia Keys, probably my favourite female solo artist. Absolutely love her work. I was introduced to her. Unfortunately I wasn't there, but Prince, for a few years over his birthday, June the 7th, did celebrations in Paisley Park, his studios in Minneapolis, where he'd put on a concert each night and he'd have other acts come in. And on, I think it was the first one of those celebrations, he had Alicia Keys come in and do a set. And I thought, well, if she's good enough for him, I'll check her out. Bought this album, absolutely loved it. This has got Falling On, which of course is just an amazing song. A Woman's Worth, How Come You Don't Call Me, which is a cover of a Prince B-side. Butterflies, I think they were the... Oh, Girlfriend, I think they were the singles. Absolutely wonderful album. Had the pleasure, she did a 10th anniversary concert of this in 2011 at the Royal Albert Hall, and it was just her at a piano, where she played all this, plus other bits as well, and sort of told the story of it all. It was just a wonderful evening. Back to Alicia Dixon. So this was her 3rd solo album, The Entertainer. Drummer Boy was the lead single and biggest hit off of this. I can't even remember what else was a single. This flopped, really, unfortunately, after the success of the Alicia Show. This is a bit more urban, if you like, and so didn't do as well, less poppy. It's okay, but it's probably my least favourite Alicia Dixon album. This is the Alicia Show, her 2nd album. This is the Encore edition. So this was a re-release with 4 bonus tracks added to it. Including To Love Again, which was a big hit. Back to Alanis Morissette. This is supposed to form an Infatuation Junkie. So this was the follow-up to Jagged Little Pill. It's not as good, but it's got some good stuff on it. Thank You was the big hit song. And this is So Called Chaos, which... not sure that was the the next album, I've got a feeling there was one in between that I'd never got. Again, she's never topped Jagged Little Pill, but all her stuff's interesting. This is her MTV Unplugged, which again is mainly, well, I'll say that about half of it is Jagged Little Pill tracks. Back to Alicia Keys. This is her VH1 Storytellers release. So this is a recording of her VH1 Storytellers show. So it's 11 songs, and in between she sort of talks about them and the inspiration. But yeah, really strong. This is also on DVD and Blu-ray, and I've got the Blu-ray. This is Girl on Fire. So her last album was Here, which I've already shown, and we're sort of working backwards now, back to songs in A minor. So yeah, this is Girl on Fire. So a big hit, of course, on this was Girl on Fire. Brand New Me, I think, was a song. New Day was definitely a song. It was a single. New Day was definitely a single as well. As was Not Even the King, which is great. Really good album, this. This is the Element of Freedom. So this was the album before that. Try Sleeping with a Broken Heart. Empire State of Mind Part 2, obviously, is the big hit of this. And Doesn't Mean Anything as well. It's also a single, I believe. Yes. This is the deluxe edition. So it's got a couple of bonus tracks. And it's also got a DVD with some intimate studio performances. And the music video, if it doesn't mean anything. Okay, we have my favourite Alicia Keys album, As I Am. I love, love, love this album. So that's the original version. This is the Super Edition, which has got 3 bonus songs, including Another Way to Die, her Bond song from Quantum of Solace with Jack White. And then it's got a live DVD as well. It's only got 5 tracks on. It's not a full concert or anything. But yeah, absolutely love this album. Superwoman was a single but didn't chart very well. No One is the big hit that everybody knows. Can't remember what else was singles. Yeah, only mentions those 2. I absolutely love Reckless Love. It's a waltz and it's just amazing. This is her Unplugged album, which again is also available on DVD, I think it is, which I've got. It's a really good Unplugged album. It's her second album, The Diary of Alicia Keys. I don't love this album, but there's lots of really good stuff on it, if you see what I mean. You Don't Know My Name is a huge hit and is one of my favourite of her songs. Diary, it's a single, but I don't love it, personally. Oh, and If I Ain't Got You, which again, brilliant song. Yeah, as I say, so this is the special limited edition with a bonus DVD, which is sort of it's sort of a diary, if you like. It's sort of in between the albums, and it's got clips of live footage and what have you. It's Basement Jaxx's The Singles compilation. That's sort of what I want from Basement Jaxx. I saw them, I think I already had this, but I saw them live supporting Robbie at Milton Keynes Bowl on the, what's it called? A tour supporting the album whose name, Intensive Care, but I can't remember what the tour was called. Close Encounters tour, possibly. And they were excellent, but this has got everything you would want from Basement Jaxx on it. Beach Boys Pet Sounds. I now also have this on vinyl, and a nice green and yellow split vinyl one, which is lovely. Widely regarded as one of the greatest albums ever. It is a very good album. I do think it is slightly overrated. I mean, it's got God Only Knows on it, which is enough to make it just sublime anyway. Caroline No was a big hit over here. No, it was this big hit. Was it a big hit over here and not in the States, or vice versa? I can't remember. Sloop John B, everybody knows from this. It's... oh, wouldn't it be nice? Opens it. As I say, it's a good album, but sort of away from those tracks, it gets a bit samey, and there's a couple of instrumentals. But yeah. It's... as I say, it is a really good album, but I do think it's slightly overrated. This is Bad News by Bad News. So Bad News are a spoof rock band. Is that in the right way? Yeah, it is. Oh, I see. It's comedy sleeve time. So Bad News are Rick Mayall, Ade Edmondson, Nigel Planer and Peter Richardson, and it started off as a comic strip, not as in, you know, cartoons, but the comic strip TV series. It was an episode of that, and they were basically a spoof rock band, heavy metal band, and it was so popular they did more Bad News as well. And this album came by, and this album, there you go, comedy cover. This album is produced by Brian May, at least in part, if not all of it. It's got their cover of Bohemian Rhapsody on it even. It's funny. It's definitely worth listening. I mean, musically, at times, it's not too bad. But it is definitely a comedy album. That's Bad News. Time Capsule, Songs for a Future Generation by B-52. So this is their greatest hits. Up until whenever this came out. I'm trying to find a date on it. 1998. So it's got Planet Claire, Rock Lobster, Private Idaho, Love Shack, Rome, Good Stuff, Meet the Flintstones. They're sort of the biggest songs on this. But I do like the B-52s very much. This is Ash Intergalactic 7 inches. Intergalactic Sonic 7 inches. So this was their greatest hits album. Again, similar time, I think. 2002 this was. So it's got all their singles up until that time. And then this is the limited 2 CD release with 22 B-sides on the second disc. But yes, like Ash a lot. Now got most of their albums. This is a hugely underrated album. This is Appleton, Everything's Eventual. So when All Saints broke up acrimoniously, Nicole and Natalie Appleton performed as a duo and released this album. Don't Worry is just an amazing song that I really, really love, but it is a really strong album. I recommend it. This is Music for Elevators by Anthony Stewart Head and George Sarah. Anthony Stewart Head, obviously the actor, probably best known for being the Gold Blend man, for playing Giles in Buffy, and for being I can't remember the name, but King Arthur's dad in Merlin, amongst many other things. He's got an amazing voice, which is why I bought this. I don't particularly enjoy this album. It has its moments, but it's a bit too electronic for me. He subsequently released another album, which is somewhere. I don't think I've shown it yet, but it's more, you know, I'm going to say proper music, but, you know, it's traditional, if you like, music, and I prefer it. This is Anton Deck, The Hits. I like some of Anton Deck's music, or PJ and Duncan's, as most of it was released as. Obviously there's Let's Get Ready to Rumble, which is just a classic, but track 13 on this is the song Shout, and I absolutely adore it. It is one of my favourite songs. So that's why I've got that. This is The Animals for Singles Plus. It's basically, I think, all their A-sides, and is it A's and B's, or is it just A's and a few album tracks? Oh, I think it's A's and a few album tracks. But yeah, as you may be aware from previous videos, I'm a big fan of Alan Price, who of course started in The Animals. So certainly Alan Price era Animals I like. So I got this. I will probably get their albums if I find them out and about. Amy Winehouse's Back to Black. which I won, I think, if memory serves. As you may be aware, I regularly compile and host music quizzes down the angling club my family belonged to. In the past, other people have also done quizzes, music quizzes, and I've been able to compete in them. And it's always, you know, joke prizes, but this wasn't a joke prize, but I'm pretty certain we won this as a prize. It's just an amazing album. And finally for this video, this is All Saints All Hits. I've got all of All Saints albums now, I think. And when I got this, I didn't. But this has got everything you want if you're just interested in my hits. This is Faultless, Pure Shores, Never Ever, Under the Bridge, Lady Marmalade, I Know Where It's At, Black Coffee, Booty Call, War of Nerves, Pure Shores, different remix. And it's also got 24/7 by the Artful Dodger with Melanie Blatt on it, plus a couple of other tracks. Yeah. So that's stack done. As I say, previous parts of my playlist, future parts of my playlist. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.